Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on WandaVision. And this will be my review and breakdown for WandaVision episode 5, where I break down the episode bit by bit as I give you guys my overall thoughts in regards to the episode, and also I'll be going over some Easter eggs that you guys could have potentially missed as well. And obviously that ending. Wow, what a crazy episode of WandaVision did we just have. I am literally speechless, literally borderline speechless. Wow. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Marvel content coming your way. And obviously, spoiler alert, in case you guys haven't caught up with WandaVision, you have been warned, as I'll be going into some major spoilers that you guys certainly wouldn't want to hear from me. So if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it and then come back later. Okay, so this episode kicks off with Wanda and Vision facing the struggles of raising two babies, and they just cannot stop crying. And Wanda essentially tries using her powers to stop the babies from crying, but she is out of luck. Her powers just don't seem to work on the twins. But Agnes then comes in clutch. She arrives at like the most perfect time you can think of to just helps out, and Wanda's obviously relieved by this. Now, Vision, however, isn't on board with this. He's not on board with Agnes holding Billy and Tommy, aka Speed and Wiccan. Now, this is where things start to get interesting. It seems that they have gone off script because Agnes asks Wanda if she should take it from the top and try the scene again. So as I alluded to earlier during one of my videos on the Marvel channel, Wanda is pretty much the writer of this fake TV reality. So there is pretty much a script going on, and well, let's just say someone wasn't following the script. And what's so interesting about this is that Agnes seems really scared, like really scared when she's looking at Wanda. She looks like she's in fear, literally. Now, I have a theory, but I am not entirely sure about this, but maybe all these people that Wanda has captured are potentially working with Hydra, or they used to be Hydra agents who used to keep Wanda hostage, and in return Wanda is doing the same thing to them. I'm not entirely sure. But Vision is baffled by this and again questions why Wanda just doesn't seem to realize that something is wrong. And we do see Vision's suspicion build up towards this episode, obviously from the events of episode 3, where he finds out about what's happened to Geraldine, let's say. But they are distracted by this because the baby just suddenly stopped crying, and with our surprise, they are now 5 years old. We then head outside of Westview, where Monica meets with Jimmy and Darcy, and essentially she is getting checked up until she refuses to have her blood taken or get another scan in general. That is obviously the case because the latter just keeps showing up blank, so the S.W.O.R.D agents basically think something's up, so they just want to keep testing her until they actually get a proper result. Now, I am very interested to see when will Monica get her photon powers or spectrum, whatever you want to call her. Will it be during WandaVision or will it just be later on, maybe in Captain Marvel 2? I'm not entirely sure. Now, during a S.W.O.R.D meeting, Wanda's history is recapped, and we learned that her and Pietro's parents were called Irina and Oleg Maximoff. And that is very interesting because this pretty much confirms that Magneto isn't canon in the MCU. Because obviously in the comics, the father of both Pietro and Wanda is Magneto. So clearly that isn't the case in the MCU. And it's also revealed that Wanda broke into S.W.O.R.D headquarters 9 days ago and stole Vision's deassembled body after obviously he died during Infinity War. And in his living will, Vision obviously made it clear that he didn't want to be anyone's weapon, and Jimmy and Darcy just can't figure out how she was able to bring Vision back to life minus the Mind Stone. And as I said before as well, there was a deleted scene during Avengers Endgame where Wanda basically takes Vision's body and does something with it. So I am guessing we will get this scene for WandaVision, and it's probably the scene that we see where Wanda breaks into S.W.O.R.D headquarters, but maybe we'll see it from her point of view and how she is able to bring Vision back to life. But I think we will see that later on, not anytime soon. We then head back into Westview, and the kids have found a puppy called Sparky. But Vision continues to be confused by his surroundings, and he's not happy about Wanda using her powers in front of Agnes. However, he's distracted when the twins age themselves up from 5 to 10, because Wanda said something along the lines of you're not allowed to keep the puppy until you're 10 years old, and then the kids just aged themselves up to 10, and I thought that was pretty hilarious to see. Now heading back outside, Darcy is now calling the anomaly as the Hex, and Monica explains that being trapped inside of Westview was painful, as she could feel her true self pushed down as Wanda controlled what she said and did. And Monica didn't seem to appreciate the mention of Captain Marvel, which was incredibly interesting as well, because as a kid, Monica had a great relationship with Carol. She loved her. So I am very interested to see what happened between them two, because during Captain Marvel they were literally best friends, the kid version of Monica and obviously Carol. So I cannot wait to see what's actually happened between them two. She obviously changes the conversation from Captain Marvel to what she was wearing when she was thrown out of the town. But we find out that her clothes are bulletproof because Wanda is basically rewriting reality, and essentially she changed what she is wearing, but it still stays that way. So basically, before Monica entered Westview, she was wearing a Kevlar vest, and then when she enters Westview, her clothes change, but it's still made out of Kevlar. So that was a pretty cool reveal as well. Now Vision meanwhile is at work talking to Norm, and an email somehow comes through from Darcy talking about the weirdness of the town of Westview. And we see Vision using his powers to turn off the computer, but also he touches Norm's head and seemingly does the same thing to him. Suddenly, Norm's true personality returns and Norm is in great fear. He tells Vision that Wanda is in his head, and his head really hurts until Vision touches him again and he's back to being to what he is in Westview. So Vision has now figured out who is behind all of this. Now, as Wanda is talking to her kids, a noise from outside distracts them, and it's basically a S.W.O.R.D drone made from the 80s, so it doesn't have to change its form when it enters Westview. And basically this was sent in order for S.W.O.R.D to communicate with Wanda. But as Monica tries to communicate with Wanda, Wanda's eyes start to glow red, meaning she's obviously used her powers. And Director Hayward orders to fire a missile at her, but then things seriously get insane. Wanda emerges from outside of Westview with the same costume that she's worn during Avengers Endgame, but also she has her Sokovian accent with her as well. So that has returned, which was pretty cool to see. And she warns them to stay out of her home. And Monica attempts to reason with her and she asks what Wanda wants. But Wanda says that she has everything she wants and no one will take that away from her ever again. So that obviously being living with Vision, she finally has Vision with her and living that perfect life that she's never got to live. If something happens, that would mean that S.W.O.R.D is basically trying to take that away from her, and they're basically antagonizing Wanda. But then we see Wanda mind controlling the S.W.O.R.D agents, and they all point their guns at Hayward as Wanda returns to Westview. But then one very interesting thing was that the energy field around Westview glows red. So does that mean something? I'm not entirely sure. We then have another TV commercial, but this time it promotes Lagos paper towels, which was a reference to the Nigerian city where Wanda killed Crossbones and obviously set off that explosion. Now, back in Westview, Agnes has found Sparky's dead body in her hedges, and Wanda makes it clear to Tommy and Billy, because they have been very upset by this, that she's not able to heal back the dead. There are rules in life that she cannot break, which was quite interesting because obviously we saw her bring back Vision, and let's just say a certain other as well, which I'll get to later on. But back at home, Vision reveals that he has spoken to Norm, to Wanda, and knows that his wife is controlling the people in the town. He confronts her about this. Now Wanda tries avoiding the questions by having all like the credits roll and stuff, hinting that she is able to control Vision as well. And Vision is angry and he reveals that he doesn't know what's outside of Westview, and that he's scared because he can't remember his life before moving into Westview. He also questions why there are no other children in Westview, so clearly he knows that Wanda has done something. And Wanda admits she doesn't even know how all of this started. But the question is Wanda telling the truth or is she lying? By the looks of it, for me at least, she is lying. I think Wanda is the one behind all of this. I think she has created it all. And even when she exited Westview to confront the S.W.O.R.D agents, she looked really hostile against them. So maybe we're going to see this darker side of Wanda So that is why I think she is the one behind all of this and not somebody else. But the holy crap moment, this moment, oh my god. The doorbell rings and it's Evan Peters as Pietro Maximoff, aka Quicksilver. That's right, the freaking Quicksilver from X-Men. Wow. Now, I have seen the leaks before, so this wasn't much of a surprise, saying that there was going to be someone cameoing. I knew he was going to appear during episode 6, but I didn't know it was during episode 5, so I thought it was someone else at first. But when I saw the white hair, I knew it was Quicksilver. I knew it was the X-Men version of Quicksilver, not the MCU one. But Darcy says, did she just recast Pietro, which was quite interesting? And Wanda is in shock, which was pretty cool. So due to the shock, was it actually someone else that brought him in here? Maybe Agnes, so that Vision is basically distracted by Quicksilver entering Westview. I'm not entirely sure. But with that, the episode ends. And just wow. Honestly guys, this show is amazing. Every single episode just keeps getting better and better. And obviously more of the mystery just keeps getting revealed. WandaVision really knows how to do these weekly release strategies. It's so good and you just keep wanting more and more. They just suppress that in the most frustrating way, but it's so satisfying as well. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about this episode. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.